What's up, guys? I'm back. Before I dive into this video, please hit that like button. Show my channel a little support. Thank you in advance. I feel like a store owner. People come into my store, pick up the products, and they just walk out the door without paying. So I'm asking if you please, diving into the video, it doesn't cost anything to hit that like button on your way in. So I'm thanking you in advance to help my channel grow. As I have 1,500 subscribers, and I'm trying to make my channel grow with all of you. And let's dive into this video. Um, what do I believe is going on with these drones that are out there, right? Now, if you saw my previous video, you saw that I was talking about how the government is in denial right now. All these agencies claiming it's just drones, nothing to be afraid of, it's just drones, they pose no threat. Here's my theory, or theories. I believe in possibilities. One, foreign countries are really using these drones, but we really can't say that's the case, because if they were, they would be doing something different, like attacking us or whatever. Because normally these big drones, as you can see the one on the screen that I have, I don't know if that's the same, the same design that be in the skies, but if you notice, they have rockets on them, because militaries use drones to drop rockets on targets. So if that was the case, it would already been happening. We would have been bombed by now. I think that's what Trump was also mentioning, something like that, to that effect, when he was saying that, that the government knows, including the sitting president, knows what's going on right now. Only that they're keeping everyone in suspense, because everyone keeps saying drones and drones and drones. Now, let me tell you what I believe here. I also believe perhaps this is a test, if you will, to see how people react, the psychological test to see how people will react to the possibility of a scientific discovery. Also, I was thinking this might just be the opening event for the false flag, fake alien invasion, to bring about the New World Order, as they all been trying to do for a long time now. But let's see. I also think maybe the United States government is using these drones to mask an event that's happening at the same time that these drones are in the air. Of course, let's not forget about the U.A.Ps that have been in the air for quite some time, that NASA themselves claim they do not know what U.A.Ps are. Now, if you don't know what U.A.P is, it's another name for UFOs. They just changed the name, butter it up, so it doesn't have that ugly taste to it, saying UFO, and people look at you like you're crazy. But yeah, perhaps they're throwing these drones in the air, masking an event at the same time, which is the presence of scientific discovery. I do believe that maybe by the end of this year, if not into the entrance of next year, Donald Trump's inauguration, we will discover that extraterrestrials exist side by side with human beings. Now, I know some people they're gonna be like, "Oh, these guys are, crazy," but that's the thing that these congressional hearings were about, to stop people from marking people as lunatics, crazy people every time we talk about extraterrestrials and, you know, UFOs and stuff like that. Because at the end of the day, we have to have an open mind. You know, everybody always wanted to know where we come from, what's our origin on planet Earth, and there's many theories out there. I mean, but science, of course, direct the beginning of life in Africa. This is fact. This is not fiction. Um, but when it comes to these extraterrestrial life, there's been military people for years, saying that extraterrestrial life is here. But of course, people were laughing at them because, of course, the government have ways to spin everything. Not only that, there seems to be um, an outside um, influence, if you will. What I mean by outside influence is that it seems like these governments are run by somebody, if you guys get what I'm saying. Some people may be like, oh, he's just overthinking that. At the end of the day, we have to remember we've been lied to from the beginning. From the beginning. Okay, a lot of us have been lied to. And all these people in big positions, high power, and rich billionaires and all that stuff, a lot of these people are there for a reason. Nothing happens by mistake, right, guys? You know that. Nothing happened by mistake. We are who we are today because I guess that was meant to be. Like I was meant to do this, I guess. You was meant to do what you're doing. And here we are. Do I believe that extraterrestrial life been here on planet Earth? Of course. Of course. Since the days of the Sumerians back in ancient Mesopotamia. That's fact. Now, some people will be like, well, that's Zachariah Sitchin talk. And, well, first of all, I don't, my research is not based on anyone else's, it's my own. I decided to research on my own and conclude what I believe is a possibility. Now, mythology may just be just that, mythology. But what if it was not mythology? Because it's kind of weird that mythology as we know it today, it's nothing but myths, fake stories and stuff, right? But to those peoples back in those times, including all cultures of ancient times, those gods and all that stuff is real to them. So you can only conclude or, rather think that either all that was just fake and someone made it up, just to control people, the way they think, the way they live, or they really were governed by angels from the sky or star people. I've always been one to have an open mind, even though that as a child growing up, I didn't have an open mind. I was taught to believe in a certain way. Like I was Roman Catholic growing up. So you're taught in a certain way how to be a certain way, and pretty much like a robot. But I'm not here to stone religions or anything, but I do believe that everything is connected. Everything is connected. If you're new to my channel, check out all my other videos. You'll see me debunking some videos. I mean, some stories like Valiant Thor and and other stories. I'm not just a debunker. I also like to, have an open mind with a lot of things. I'm just not the type of individual that just believe anyone that just, come up with a story and be like, "Hey, this and that," and then I just say, "Sure, I believe you." Sometimes it's good to just research for yourself and see what you can find, and then conclude from there. That's what it takes sometimes, because like I said, we're living in a world where they're constantly lying to us. At the end of the day, what happens if extraterrestrial life is here? I wonder what changes will happen. Because I do know that gains for governments, that is, technology. Because, of course, that's the main thing they would go for. I mean, who wouldn't go for technology, right? So, whoever speaks to these extraterrestrials were clearly are going to be asking for technology. But once again, this is all speculation, theory. There's no way of knowing until they decide to stop playing these little games with all of us and come clean with all this stuff. Just as, I just think it's kind of odd that all of a sudden there's a lot of activity in the skies and they're drones, but no one's talking about UAPs anymore. But kind of they are because it's a mixture of both. Like I believe it's happening. I believe that the U.S. is throwing a whole bunch of drones in the air and denying that it's not them to mask the event that's going on with the UAPs. Let's pay more attention to what's really going on. That's all. Keep your eyes open, people, because I think we're going to get that disclosure we've been looking for what, 70 years, 80 years? It took them that long just to let us know that we're not alone in the universe. I mean, you've been had people tell us that for what, years and years and years. But a lot of people died in the process. A lot of people disappeared. So it's difficult to, you know, when you're dealing with something of that magnitude. Now I go back to some of these stories that I spoke about before, like I think his name is Boyd Bushman, who was an engineer for the Lockheed Martin or a scientist, and he was showing these pictures. Now here you have an old man, and he was showing pictures. Now if you really want to check out that video, all you got to do is check it out. It's just about a guy who it seems like he was on his way out because he was up there in age. And then he says he's a scientist, and he says scientists go on mere data, which that's correct. And he's showing a lot of pictures in a way of data, though. But he's saying, you want to see data? Then this is the data I have right here. And he's showing a whole bunch of pictures of what appears to be a different type of species. And it's sad because someone tried to debunk him by saying he got the idea from a toy, whatever. But I mean, now when you start putting the pieces together, you see all the pieces are falling into place. All the pieces are falling into place. Watch out for all the distractions that are happening at the same time. You guys know what I mean? There's a lot of distractions happening at the same time. While you're paying attention to these drones, the UAPs are out there moving all around everywhere. Now, while that's going on, there's another thing going on overseas. There's always something happening. So all I could say is pay attention. I'm going to close here in this video. Please let me know what you guys think about this situation. Where you live, have you seen any of these drones? I mean, I've seen them. Not only drones, I've seen UAPs as well. Years ago, yes. I've seen them recently as well. So let me know your opinions. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe. Check out my other videos. You're probably going to like them. Or maybe not. Some people may think, that I aim to attack other people because, they believe in extraterrestrials. So do I. I'm a believer that we're not alone in the universe. Like I said, it's just, at the end of the day, I like to research a lot of these stories that are brought out there to confirm whether they were really true or just a bunch of BS, for people trying to make that money off of people. Because that's been happening for quite some time, a long time, and even right now. You still got those UFO people from the past, and they still try to come up and tell you all these fake ass stories, Valiant Thor and all this other stuff. I'm still waiting for whoever wants to, and that's not what this is really about, but on the debating part, I'm still waiting for people to confirm that Valiant Thor is real when I know he's not real. And I don't want to keep talking about Valiant Thor anymore because that's not what I want to do anymore. I've got plenty of videos to for people to go in and dive into it and check them out, and you'll see all the facts that I've gotten to conclude that Valiant Thor was Frank Ernest Strangers himself. He was just playing a game of, you know, fooling everyone else and making money off of everyone. So that's what it was all about. Just with Howard Manger and all them other ones. But yep, I said let's just pay attention to our skies, pay attention to everything that's going on around you. Nothing happens by mistake. Everything happens for a reason, no matter how wild it may seem. Which is weird, when you think about it. But we have no control over things that we have no control over. We don't. We don't. We can only control what happens around us that we do. So yeah, I'm gonna close the video here, man. Like I said, please hit that like button. If you came to the video and you made it this far, hit that like button if you haven't already. Like I said, I don't want to feel like this is a store where, you got customers coming on in and grabbing information here and there, grabbing products, and then walking on out with it without paying. All I ask is that you hit that like button and show some support for the channel. And thank you, man. And I hope you all had a great time. On to the next one.